Everyone thought it was the perfect wedding until she found out the truth, and when she did, she ran. The hotel hallway explodes into chaos. A bride bursts through the door, her face streaked with tears. Her bouquet slips from her hand as she runs, wedding dress trailing behind her like a ghost of the love she thought she had. Behind her, bridesmaids scream her name, but she doesn't look back. The wedding was the talk of Lagos. Chidinma and Obinna, both from prominent Igbo families, had tied the knot in a ceremony that blended tradition with modern flair. The reception at a luxurious Lekki hotel was in full swing, guests dancing and celebrating. But as the night wore on, whispers began to circulate. The bride was missing. Obinna, initially brushing off concerns, soon realized she wasn't in the bridal suite. Panic set in. Hours later, Chidinma was found in the guest room, door locked, eyes filled with a mix of fear and determination. She uttered just one sentence.
"No, I just can't do this."
Obinna stood outside the locked guest room door, his palm pressed flat against the wood. The celebration downstairs had gone quiet. His mother had started praying. His father had already begun whispering about damage control. "Chidinma," Obinna said again, softer this time. "Please just open the door. Tell me what's going on." No answer. He sank to the floor, leaning against the wall. His custom-tailored agbada now wrinkled, sweat beading on his forehead. His groomsmen had stopped knocking. They had started avoiding eye contact. Then his phone buzzed. It was a WhatsApp message from Chidinma, sent to him by mistake. A voice note, 30 seconds long. "If I go through with this marriage, I'll be Obinna's blood ran cold." He stood up and knocked hard on the door again, voice shaking. "Chidi, what did you find?" But she was silent. The door stayed locked, and the truth, whatever it was, had started to leak through the cracks. Chidinma scrolled through Instagram as she lay in bed in her Victoria Island apartment. Wedding prep was hectic. She barely had time to breathe. But insomnia was her new normal. That was when the message came in. A request from an anonymous account. "Our truth will find you, Ninja." Curious, she opened it. There was a video file attached. No text, no emojis, just a grainy clip. She tapped play. The footage was silent and in black and white. It looked like security camera footage from a hotel lobby. A tall man, familiar, walked in with a woman, hand on her lower back, leaning in close. She paused the video, zoomed in, her heart stopped. "Obinna?" The date in the corner of the video said March 11th, 2025, just 2 weeks ago. She stared at the woman next to him, face turned away, wig, bodycon dress, too blurry to make out. Her phone buzzed again, a text followed. "You deserve to know who you're marrying. Ask him about Amaka." The next morning, Chidinma confronted him at a brunch spot in Lekki. She didn't mention the message or the video, just asked casually, "Ever heard the name Amaka?" Obinna raised an eyebrow.
Amaka? Never dated anyone with that name. Why?
She nodded slowly, pretending to believe him. But that evening, while he was in the shower, she opened the top drawer in his study desk. Tucked beneath old receipts and cufflinks was a small velvet box. Inside, a gold necklace, simple, dainty. A pendant hung from it, just a single letter. Chidinma paced her room, the necklace clenched in her hand so tight it left marks. Obinna's words echoed in her mind.
Amaka? Nah, never dated anybody with that name.
But now she had proof, physical, personal, intimate. She remembered the old storage box in Obinna's closet, the one he hadn't touched in months. Mostly junk, dead power banks, tangled earphones, some old receipts from a trip to Abuja. Then she found it. An old Infinix burner phone, slightly cracked screen, battery surprisingly still alive, no password. She opened the Messages app. There were only a few saved contacts, but one stood out, Amaka baby. Her hands trembled as she read through the thread. Amaka, I miss you so much. Chidinma dropped the phone like it was burning. Her world, her carefully crafted, perfect world, was unraveling. The morning of the wedding felt surreal. Makeup artists fluttered around her like butterflies. Her aunties danced and praised God. The air was thick with heat, perfume, and expectation. But Chidinma couldn't stop shaking. She hadn't slept. She'd deleted the burner phone messages, but kept the device hidden in her clutch. She'd confronted Obinna again, casually, during the traditional rites rehearsal the day before. "You're sure you've never dated an Amaka?" she'd asked, dead in the eyes. After some times, when he's changed properly, she asked again. His smile didn't even flinch. "Babe, are you okay? You're stressing too much. Let's just focus on our day." That morning, just after 9 a.m., someone slipped an envelope under her hotel room door. No return name, just "to the bride" in messy handwriting. Inside was a single page of notebook paper, torn at the edge. The ink was smudged in places. "I begged him to tell you. He didn't." So Chidinma stared out the window and thought she saw a flash of red, a woman standing near the gate in a red dress. By the time she got downstairs, she was gone. By the time the couple said their vows, Chidinma felt like a ghost. She smiled, she posed for pictures. She held Obinna's hand at the altar like everything was fine. But in her head, sirens, smoke, screaming. The reception was extravagant. Celeb Flodritis posted clips from the dance floor. Aso-Ebi girls sparkled under chandelier lights. Jollof, champagne bottles popped. Still, Chidinma kept checking her phone. No new messages from the anonymous account, no sign of Amaka. Maybe it was all a bluff. Maybe she'd backed off. Maybe Obinna had paid her to disappear. She looked up and saw Obinna across the room, laughing with his cousins. Her chest tightened. Then her phone rang. "No caller ID." She hesitated, then answered. A woman's voice, whispering like she was hiding in a closet. "You look beautiful, but you're marrying a monster." Chidinma dropped the phone. She left the reception without a word, slipped out through the staff exit while her bridesmaids danced in a circle and shouted her name. Her wedding dress bunched up around her, her hair still perfect, makeup untouched. But inside, she was breaking. She pulled out her phone and recorded a voice note. "If I go through with this marriage," oh, she didn't mean to send it. She just needed to say it out loud, to herself. She tapped save, dropped the phone, and curled up. But her phone was still logged into her Gmail. It auto-synced and sent the note straight to Obinna. The fallout was immediate. Obinna, blindsided by the voice note, didn't tell anyone what it said. Instead, he told the guests Chidinma had gotten cold feet and needed time to adjust. But her brother Ebuka didn't buy it. He banged on the guest room door until Chidinma let him in. She showed him everything, the necklace, the texts, the letter, the burner phone. Ebuka went straight to Obinna. The hotel lobby shook with the fight. Obinna's shirt got torn. Obinna's father tried to pull them apart, yelling about disgrace and scandal. Then Ebuka said it, loud enough for everyone in earshot. "Tell them about Amaka and the girl from Manugu. You paid them to shut her up in 2020. Obinna's mother started crying. His father turned his back and walked away. A week after the wedding that wasn't, Chidinma sat on the balcony of her cousin's apartment in Yaba, sipping tea and watching the rain blur the rooftops. She hadn't gone back to her place in VI. Too many memories, too many ghosts. The internet had caught wind of the scandal. Someone leaked a blurry clip of the hotel lobby fight. TikTok was full of "Did you hear what happened to Chidinma and Obinna" videos. Everyone had an opinion, but she kept quiet until the package came. No name, no return address, just a plain brown envelope delivered by a Kiki rider who refused to say who sent him. Inside, a USB flash drive and a small handwritten note. "You saved yourself. Thank you for not marrying him. Maybe now I can move on too." Chidinma hesitated, then plugged the USB into her laptop. The file was titled proof.mp4. She pressed play. The video was clear, shot on a phone indoors, maybe a hotel room. Obinna and a woman sat close together on a bed. She was crying. He was begging. "You said you'd tell her," she shouted. "I can't," Obinna said. "You don't understand how this would destroy everything." The woman's face turned to the camera, clear as day. It was Amaka, real, devastated and unmistakably alive. Then the screen faded to black, and the date appeared in the corner, June 2024, 8 months before the wedding. Chidinma didn't cry, not this time.
A monster. He thought he can trick me like he did to Amaka, but let's find out what this man is trying to hide.
With trembling hands, Chidinma opened the rest of the folder Amaka had sent. What she found wasn't just a dossier on a broken man. It was a pattern, a network, a legacy of harm. 7 women, 5 years. One name in common, Obinna Uzochukwu. 4 engagements quietly called off. 2 settlements. 1 disappearance, Adaora N, last seen in Enugu 2020. But Obinna wasn't acting alone. Every paper trail led back to Chief CU, his uncle, a retired commissioner, wealthy, untouchable, the owner of unregistered estates across the country, including one in Elegushi, Lagos. Locals called it the Red Room. No one knew what happened behind its tinted windows and silent gates, but every woman who had entered Obinna's world had, at some point, been sent there. And now, Chidinma saw the truth. Obinna was never just a charming liar. He was a tool, a vessel, a recruiter in fine Agbada, not a monster by instinct, a monster by design. He had been groomed, protected and weaponized by power. His only role was to seduce, disarm, and deliver. And Chidinma, she had almost become another name in the margins of Amaka's book. Chidinma sat on her cousin's couch, staring at her laptop screen as the final video faded to black. "I couldn't save myself back then," Amaka had said, "but I could save you." Tears ran silently down Chidinma's cheek. She had thought Amaka was a rival, a ghost from the past, but she was something else entirely. She was the whistleblower. The first, the fighter, the survivor. Emeka had exposed the truth, not just about Obinna, but about the system that made him. And now Chidinma held the match. Not to burn down a man, but to burn down